Hey guys, this is Smriti. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. And if you guys have already been subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Today's makeup tutorial is yet another Zodiac sign series, and today we're going to tackle Libra. I absolutely love this Zodiac sign. You would hear all about them in the video. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, please keep on watching. So let's start by applying the primer, and for today I'm going to use Too Faced Hangover Face Primer, and this is more of a moisturizing primer, so I'm going to apply it all over the face just to give it more of like a moisturized glowy look. We would be going with like a more of a glowy look on the face especially, just because I'm planning on doing like a matte eyes, so we'll keep the face super glowy. So let's continue. Talking about Libra. Libra is an earth sign, and for my foundation I'm taking my Wet n Wild Dewy foundation, and this is in the shade Desert Beige. And yes, so Libra people have birthdays between September 23rd and October 22nd. As you know, Libra represents like balance. So that's why they're known for like to bring balance in life. And most of the Libra most of the Libra people generally are like busy just doing that, like this sweet, loving, super like helping people who are like forever willing to cooperate on anything that is happening. They're super kind and gentle at heart. That's how Libra people are depicted. Now the color that represents Libra is like fuchsia pink. So we're going to go bright pink on the eyes. Have you guys ever seen me with like bright pink eyes? I don't think so. Libra people are absolutely charming, modest, balanced people. So the only thing that I have noticed is they have a hard time in like making decisions for people. For my concealer, I'm taking my e.l.f.'s Camo Concealer, and I'm in the shade Medium Beige. Just putting it in the center of the face, just to make it more of a highlighted look. This is definitely not like a super light shade for me, so I'm just going to use the same foundation brush and just tap it on top of it, just so that like the foundation, the concealer, everything can melt into each other. Same thing, I'm just going to apply it over my eyes too, just so that if there's any discoloration, it can just go. They generally act like peacemakers in everybody's life, so they're just busy doing that. The super sweet people, man. So I'm gonna take my Becca's Rose Gold highlighter and just highlight the areas where I just need it. So like the high points of the face. Because it's a liquid highlighter, it's super subtle. I just use my fingers to just tap it in. And this gives just like a beautiful glow to the face. And today we're using all like pinky, rose goldy shades, just so that everything can like flow on top of each other. Now for my blush, I'm taking a liquid blush, and this is Rare Beauty blush in the shade Grace, and I'm just gonna lightly apply it on the cheek and then just blend it all together. Super pigmented, so you just need like a tiny bit. And because we've not applied powder, and when we blend it all with like a powder on top of this, everything would be more subtle. There you go. And talking about powder, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild's pressed powder, and I'm in the shade Tan Beige. I'm just going to set the whole face with like a big fluffy brush. So the only downside that I see in like Libra people is they may conflict when making a decision for others. just because they want to get like peace in everybody's life. So that is one aspect that they might like conflict on. They are the ones who do not like to be like hurried. They want a calm atmosphere mostly, just because they want to have like peace and like balance in everybody's life. So for my bronzer, I'm taking my Milani's bronzing powder, and I'm in the shade Suntan. I'm lightly gonna dust it on the perimeters of the face. It's a beautiful shade for like medium skin tone. It is not super warm tone, it's not super cool tone, it's a very neutral bronzer. So this definitely can act like a contour and a bronzer all in one. In like a rush environment, I just pinch the big brush and I just contour super quickly my nose too, just to make it a little more thin. And I'm going to use the same bronzer in my crease too. So as I said, I'm going to go a little matte on the eyes. Just want a little bit of crease action happening. So I'm going to take this bronzing powder. It's not super dark, so it just is going to act like a transitioning shade. So while we are at the bronzer part, let's do that too. So now let's move on to the powder highlight. For that, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild's Precious Petals. This is more of like a pinky golden highlight, so this would definitely suit the look. Now quickly, let me just finish off with my brows, and for my brows, I'm taking my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer, and I'll get right back. So once the brow is done, now let's move on to defining the eyes. So what I'm going to do is first take a light pale pink shade. So for this, I'm going to take my Supreme shadow from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette, and I'm lightly gonna dust it in the crease of the eye. Will you believe this is the only like baby pink shade that I have in my whole collection? That's shocking with the amount of eyeshadow palettes that I own. Now I'm gonna use the same shade and run it on my lower lash line too. Now for the lid shade, I'm going to take a fuchsia pink shade from my Juvia's Place Masquerade palette, and I'm going to dip into the shade called Bory. I first want to apply it with a brush, and then just to pack the color in, I'm going to apply it with my fingers too. Now I'm going to press the same shade. It's such a beautiful shade. I mean, when I press it with my hands, I'm pretty sure you would be able to see it more. It's a matte with like a tiny little speck of sparkle in it, like glitter in it, but it's not like chunky glitter. I cannot even see it on my eyes. But if you see it like super carefully, that's when you might notice it. Nothing that would like bother you if you're not a fan of shimmer pink shade. I'm going to take my Wet n Wild contouring palette and take the lighter shade, and I'm just going to put it on my under eye just so that there's no fallout. And if there's any fallout, I can like easily wipe it off. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye too. So talking about Libra people, they strive to create everything beautiful out of every part of their life. It's such a good quality to have in like a human being. I absolutely love that quality about them. I think the only thing that you need to be careful about Libra people is like they're quite judicious when they are like, you know, around their family, their friends, just because they have that sense of sight. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Rest, I mean, I love them. Just blend the same thing, same shade using any fluffy brush. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that comes in like every palette of theirs. I'm just going to use the same shade on my lower lash line too. Most probably just in the outer corners, we'll see. I'm just going like just leaving the inner third bare and just mainly concentrating on the outer 3/4. And then once that is done, I'm gonna apply a nude liner in my waterline, and for that I'm using my Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Silky Nude, just to open up the eyes a little bit. And then let me just clean up under the eyes. And then for my inner corner, I'm going to take the shade called Soleil from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Eyeliner palette and just apply it in the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to apply a little bit underneath the brow too, just to lift the brow. Now, if you want like a shimmer on the eyelid, I mean, the world is your oyster. You can use the Trust Issues palette. I mean, that's a beautiful gold. Just tap it on top of that and that would be absolutely stunning. I mean, I love it. You know how I feel about that palette, right? But for today, I'm basically going for like a matte eye look. So for my eyeliner, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Mega Liner in the shade Black. And I'm going to make a wing, or try to make a wing. So let's see how it goes. Now I'm going to quickly repeat the same thing on the other eye and I'll get right back. Now for my mascara, I'm going to take my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm going to quickly apply that on my lashes. Okay, now let's quickly set our face with Milani's Make It Last Setting Spray. For my lips, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Bear to Comment. I'm going to lightly line my lips. It's more of a peachy color. I just don't want to do a lot of pink. So I'm going to keep it peach on the lips. And then on top of that, I'm just gonna apply my Buxom's lip gloss in the shade Mudslide. This is more of a pink gloss. And that's my final look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Libra makeup tutorial. If you do like zodiac sign makeup tutorials, if you are a Libra person, do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!